Hey y'all. Um, I'm back, and this is week one of The Artist Way. Not gonna lie, it's definitely been longer than a week. It's been maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but I have done it. I have read it, and I also went into week two. I just haven't recorded anything for them because as part of this you have to do morning pages, so it's writing like 3 pages nonstop stream of consciousness um, every day, and then also I think once a week you have to go on an artist date, and I have yet to go on an artist date, and I just recently started writing every day, like the past week. I've been recently starting to do my morning pages, so that's why I haven't recorded something. But let me just do a check-in for week one. So it says, how many pages this week did you do in the morning? 7 out of 7. I'd say maybe 2 out of 7. It's nice writing things down. I don't really have any other feelings about it. It's kind of, I like recording myself too, because it's just kind of stream of consciousness, or even not recording, but just like voice memoing myself. It's a little easier to get down thoughts. I did not do my artist date this week, but I did do something that I've wanted to do for a while and haven't, and that was go puff ice cream to my house, which I know is not a big deal, but I always like the idea of doing stuff like that, but I just never do because it's so expensive. But I kind of splurged a little bit. Let's see, were there any significant other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? I think my issues were in regarding to tiredness. I feel like that's something I deal with a lot, and distractfulness, specifically with my phone, with apps. I've unfortunately been getting a lot more sucked into TikTok and Instagram recently, and I've usually been really good with them, but recently I've been really getting stuck into it, and it really takes a lot of my time, especially since I already have a limited amount of time. The fact that, because I've just been distracting myself and pacifying my brain, also I think that's been the main thing that's been impacting it. So let's go back on week one. Let's see what's going on here. So the first week is, this week initiates your creative recovery. You may feel both giddy and defiant, hopeful and skeptical. The readings, tasks, and exercises aim to allow you to establish a sense of safety, which will enable you to explore your creativity with less fear. So they talked a lot about shadow artists, things like that. I don't currently relate to that, but I do like that I read it. Essentially, a shadow artist is someone who kind of lives in the shadow of someone else, who's doing what they want to do because they don't believe in themselves enough to do the thing. So they live essentially vicariously through that person. But I did highlight some things. Okay, so I highlighted, it takes a great deal of ego, strength to say to a well-meaning but domineering parent, or just a plain domineering one, wait a minute, I am too an artist. The dreaded response may come back, how do you know? And of course, the fledgling artist does not know. There's just this dream, this feeling, this urge, this desire. There is seldom any real proof, but the dream lives on. So I sat with that for a second because I was like, damn, like, I think that is something that I fear, even in the past 2 weeks or so. Like, let's say my coworker asked me, oh, you sing? And it's like, everything in my brain was telling me, like, no, don't claim that you're a singer yet, type of thing. But it's like, I do sing, and I am an artist, and my heart panged a little bit when I said that. It's scary, just because of how society treats it, and how my family treats it, and they're getting a little more okay with it, but I just don't have a lot of support in my life, so just saying things like that is just not supported. But it does consume me constantly. I'm always thinking about it, indulging in it, desiring it, longing for it while I'm at work. When I'm supposed to be doing something, I'm researching stuff related to music, production, people nearby, connections, things like that. When I get off of work, I'm driving home and I'm listening to instrumentals because I'm trying to come up with lyrics. I get home, I'm watching YouTube videos, trying to learn about things. I am again listening to instrumentals and writing, and just trying to do anything I can to get better. And that is why I think I know that I'm an artist, because it just consumes me. I don't know, and I like creating, even if it's not in a music sense. I just like creating. I don't see any alternative path for me. So it says, to live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong. I do relate to the idea of nurturing the artist child, not judging your early artistic efforts, and also just trying to remind myself progress, not perfection. Which is funny that this is something that is here, because on my binder that I have for my vocal lessons, it says progress over perfection. So something that I'm trying to live by. What else is here? There will be many times when you won't look good. We need to stop demanding that we do. This one was heavy. When I make this point in teaching of it takes time and you will look bad at the beginning, she is met with, but do you know how old I will be by the time I learn to really play the piano, act, paint, write a decent play? Yes, the same age you will be if you don't. So let's start. That is something I really relate to. She says, well, no, this is what I wrote. Fear and yearning is comfortable. I have fears of not being good, of things not working out. I long for something. These are concrete things that I say yes. Oh shit. That I say yes. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm feeling. This is what my goals are. That is comfortable because that is where I'm at. The unknown of where I'm going to be when I get through those fears and I achieve the things that I'm yearning, that is scary. That is unknown. That's uncomfortable. And I am sitting in my comfort. And it's negatively impacting me, I feel. So I don't know. There's just like a couple things in here, just like about fears and breaking down negative beliefs and replacing them with positive ones. This one is something that I think is important to remember. All too often, it is audacity and not talent that moves an artist to center stage. And I wrote, audacity is more important than talent, because there's a lot of artists that maybe aren't great, but they are still in a position of influence and reaching people because they did it and they kept trying and they did it. People who were maybe a little better than that may not get those same opportunities because they're just scared and they just don't do it. And essentially a big part of this is kind of breaking down the inner fears, inner questions, inner thoughts that might be negative towards myself, and replacing them with things like, I deserve this. I deserve a creative, rewarding life. I deserve a fulfilling artist career and life. I deserve a life filled with only intentional, positive stress. Oh, here's the rain. Beautiful. How privileged I am to be tired on the path to my goals and dreams. I saw that in a TikTok or Instagram post or something like that. Something I'm trying to live more by. I am grateful to be tired. I'm grateful to have a job. I'm grateful to have so much on my plate and so many options and the ability to do the things that I want to do. I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and it sucks. It doesn't suck, but it is frustrating how everyone lives in a bubble of their own reality. We only see or feel what we are experiencing. If that makes sense. Back when I didn't have a job, back when I was struggling a lot more, I had my own fears and thoughts. I was tired, but I was tired because, again, I didn't have any money, and I was spending all my time trying to find a way to support myself. And now I am able to support myself through a job and focus my efforts and time towards things that I really want to do. So I'm grateful that I'm able to do that, and I am, I'm just happy in that regard. And I need to be more present with that reality and understanding. So something to think about. More creative affirmations, tasking me to, write through the morning pages, convert all my blurts to positive affirmations, take myself on an artist date. They want me to list 3 old enemies and create of my creative self-worth, and then kind of write against them. Think about the people who have spoken positively to you, and also, if you were to live 5 other lives, what would you do in them? Dancer, painter, ceramicist, traveler, and I think this would just be a community person, someone who builds for the community. Oh, actually, a neuro architect would actually be really interesting. I still want to do that. These are all things that I still want to do and still plan on doing in this life. I'm only 23. I don't know why I limit myself so much, but I don't know. But again, I am going to try to do better at the artist pages. At the morning pages and the artist dates. Week 2 is this week addresses self-definition as a major component of creative recovery. You may find yourself drawing new boundaries and staking out new territories as your personal needs, desires, interests announce themselves. The essays and tools are aimed at moving you into your personal identity, a self-defined you. So, I did go through this already, but I'm just gonna go back over it. I don't think I actually read all of it. Yeah, I didn't read all of it. So this is gonna be for the second week, the next week. I'm gonna try to lock in, do my pages every day. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I can cut this down because it is 16 minutes and this is taking up a lot of space on my phone. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Or I love you, Stephen, because this is only for me. Wink, wink. Okay, bye, guys.